Oh, oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
Is it working?
It says it's live.
Pog.
It says it's
Pog
live.
champ.
Ladies and
Pog
gentlemen,
champ.
welcome to Center of the Girth. My name is Ben. This is my friend Aiden. Today we're going to be
Howdy.
talking about some cursed things. Some cursed things related to my friend Aiden.
Oh boy.
The
Oh
last
boy.
2 episodes, we've been a little bit. I feel like we've gone a little bit back, a bit backwards in
We've
time.
regressed.
We've regressed. Yes, we haven't been as high energy as before. So, frankly,
Yeah.
you gotta be high energy. You gotta be high energy to be in this game. All right, and frankly, all right, gotta get with it. Okay, we're gonna get with it. Okay, so I have a few things to ask you about, Aiden.
Oh boy, I'm excited, and by excited I mean scared.
I wanted to ask you about a person named Roger. Uh,
What about him?
Well, so a few friends, I was hanging out with some of the boys on Deep Rock Galactic, and they were telling me how much of a hoot, how much of a riot you are at school, at the high school. And
Maybe, maybe not.
some had informed me that you have some interesting things about a fella named Roger. That this name, just
Oh
mentioning
boy.
this name, just makes you freak out and die laughing. But it hasn't happened, so or maybe it's starting
Because I have to explain.
to happen.
All right, everyone listening. A little bit of backstory.
Backstory,
If
huh?
you know what a SPED is, you're ahead of the game. If you don't, here's the 411, folks. SPED is a portmanteau, I guess, of special and ed to form one anti-retard slur, SPED. And
Uh-huh.
this one kid was in the SPED group. His name was Roger. Roger was a very interesting fella. I don't know what was wrong with him, but he was relegated to like a wheelchair, and they like strapped him in too. So they like Alex Mason, Black Ops 1, strapped this guy to like a wheelchair and carted him around the school, forcing him and his like chain gang of retards to like pick up trash and stuff around the school. And what made him probably the most interesting sped out of the lot was the fact that he couldn't speak. He could only really scream and make grunting sounds. And so this only got better as certain different things happened that my buddy and I witnessed. For example, I was with my buddy.
Which
You
buddy?
know you know Gavin, right, Ben?
I think he was. I think he was in the Discord call I was in doing Deep Rock.
He must have been the
I-
one to tell you
I
about
kind of
that.
know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we were in like basically physical science, I think, and we basically hear like a autistic cry for help, and we look out like the big windows, and we see Roger being carted along like the intro sequence of Skyrim on like a tricycle. Like his legs are strapped to this tricycle, and every time they push him forward, the little wheels spin and the pedals move. So this man looks like he's being taken to his execution at Helgen. His little feet move ever so slightly on his tricycle.
can he move his legs? Is he moving his legs for the tricycle?
On purpose? No, he's being forced to move his legs on the, and I quote, the trispedsicle. That is the name for it. Things get even better as I think it was the last year before they like kicked him out of the thing because he had graduated, I guess, in quotations. There was like a homecoming thing. I'm getting texts in different discords about hentai and things, but that's not important.
Nice.
But basically, what had happened was some girl was like his like retard handler, I guess, and took him to homecoming, which is very nice. I put away my sarcastic, biting edgelord tone for a sec. But when my buddy Gavin saw it, he started laughing uncontrollably. I'm like, "What? What is it?" And this spawned one of the biggest arguments I've had with the man ever before. He was laughing because he thought Roger was looking down her dress. I didn't think he was. In fact, I don't know if I have the picture. I could send it, but I still, to this day, will argue that he was not looking down that lady's dress. because in the picture they're like close together, trying to be like nice to each other. I guess I don't know. I'll send you the picture.
No,
Hold on.
don't send it in the Discord because don't want to dox people. Don't want to put their
Fine.
put their
I can't
images on
find
the
it.
internet.
I can't find it anyway, so don't worry.
Uh-huh. We'd have to like doctor this and blur out his face and blur
We're
out
gonna
her
have to like
face.
once again Black Ops 1 like black everything out
Yeah,
and
exactly.
uh
It wouldn't be cool. I wouldn't want to turn this guy who probably can barely understand anything. I wouldn't want to turn him into like the next Chris Chan or something. That would be a fate. That would be a fate worse than death, especially
he wouldn't
considering
become the next Christian because to be Christian you have to dig yourself into a hole with your words and also
he
be
can't
at
use
least
words.
you can't use words. The man is barely like aware of his existence.
I just remember him from like I think it was one of my sister's concerts. Um he was somehow in the band. They gave him like this dinky little toy drum.
They
And in
did
the
give him like a symbol. I remember this
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Okay,
and they
Gavin is
put
also in bands. Yeah, he had a button to like do the cymbals or something, and he like slapped his hand onto the drum thing, and so this little like contraption was just bashing the cymbals over and over again. His tart handler. This is a different one, not the girl that took him to homecoming. Just like with the most spite and anger that she could, grabbed his like limp retard wrist and just pushed it to the side, and then like wiped her hand off on his like woolen sweater.
Yeah, no, I remember it because in the middle of one of the greatest pieces of the entire concert. They're all coming to crescendos. I can see my sister. She's doing a great job in the timpani. She's kicking ass. And then Roger, I just hear. I'm like, what the hell was that?
What is that?
Who brought their kid here? Where is that coming from? And I look on the stage. I hear it again. And I'm like, that's coming from the stage. Where on the stage? Who is freaking out on stage? And I see him in his wheelchair. Stephen Hawking. He looks like Stephen Hawking, but worse. And he's like, oh. I'm like, oh. Why? How did this guy make it into the band? Why is he here? How is he here?
I had a situation like that in gym before.
In gym?
Where it's like, yeah, sometimes they. I hate saying this because I feel so like bad now that I'm like my brain. There's no way nice to say this. Basically, to let them feel included, they let the special ed kids like play gym with like the other kids. Uh-huh. And so basically, it's like, what are you going to do? You're having this like. I don't know what else to call him, but he's basically just a large retarded man play with a bunch of freshmen, and he's like on the other team. He's like charging towards like the jail where we keep people and capture the flag, and he like releases everyone. I can't tag him out because they won't let me. This man has like retarded diplomatic immunity.
Exactly.
No, I can't tag him out.
They did the same thing for me in like kickball. Like I was about to get this guy out. I was.
What do you want me to do? Run up to this guy and just peg him across the face and let him just wallow in his own sadness that he got out?
No.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I threw it at him, right? I think I got him. I think we're talking about the same guy. Is it the one with like the camo grandma glasses suspenders?
I don't know, but he was a ginger, and I don't remember much else about him. Okay. Just the fact he was a ginger and genetically unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, so, and everyone's they're looking at me like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course I'm gonna chuck a ball at him. They're like, yeah,
he's a large target.
Yeah, but that's not cool. How the hell do you expect these people to function in society if all you're doing is coddling them? Like, you're just gonna say, he's retarded. It's okay, guys. I'm like, no,
Ben
it's not okay.
No
Teach him
whatsoever.
Teach him through fury and fire that this is how reality is.
Teach him through force that he will not survive.
By the Emperor, you will learn how reality functions. Speaking of SPED, I was under. Can you tell? The first time you met me, I was under the impression of something, or you were
Oh
under the impression
boy.
of something. Could you tell people about
Okay.
that?
So
Like, I actually want
what?
to know the
Okay.
build up to this because I uh I met you in a class. You can fill in more of the details, but
All
up
right.
to that point in my life, it was I live in this one place in this one state, and you had come from Florida, and so
I had
you
come
were like
from
a
all the
foreigner.
way in
You were
Florida.
a strange
Yes.
man. So
Stranger in a strange land.
so come and tell a story from your whole perspective.
So basically, here I am. I had just gotten done with like a fancy schmancy art school back in Florida. And so I was moving here to Michigan. I had already seen the school through like a tour that I went on during vacation. I was like kind of worried.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that like, oh, they hated freshmen as if we were like little gremlins, which I guess we were. But so I go in, this is my first class. I'm immediately incredibly awkward and
Oh,
I
what
like
class was it? Not for my sake, but for
for the people at home.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, this was some sort of theater arts thing where you do theater and you learn stuff about it. You like learn lights and stuff, monologues and whatever. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Had a lot of fun. Almost failed the class, passed for the D. Doesn't matter. Uh, so I went in. I befriended this like awkward senior guy because I needed to borrow a pencil from him. We just kind of barely talked to each other. I don't remember his name. I hope he's doing well and he's not like dead in a drug deal somewhere, whatever. And so
Oh, that could have been
we
Yoshi.
get to introduce each other. You know who I'm talking about?
It could be. Was he had like long hair?
Long-ish hair that was just kind of brown, kind of inward like stance that was very awkward.
That could be Yoshi. Because Yoshi was
No,
very.
no, no, no. That's not him.
That's not
That's not
Yoshi.
him. No,
Okay.
it's some other guy. It's the kind of guy that you wouldn't notice, unlike Yoshi.
Oh, okay. So never
I
mind
think his
then.
name was like Sam or something. It doesn't matter. Not the Sam that I know. If you're listening, Sam, he knows
Okay.
who he is. So I go in this class. We introduce each other. You have to have a name. You have to have your name and an adjective. I went with the thing I always go with now, average Aiden, and it goes around the circle. Everything's pretty substandard or normal standard. And then we get to you, Ben, and immediately before you introduce your name and adjective, I'm like, oh boy, rutro, because I had known from a person I talked to that there was like this weird like black ops operation to integrate the tards into classrooms because not all of them are completely tarded. And I thought, no, I'll say that. So basically, you start talking with a funny British accent, and I immediately worry, uh-oh, this is a tard. And I feel so awful saying it now, but I'll continue. And
Oh
so,
no,
of
this is great.
course,
What was this? By the way, I'd heard you mention this before, like very vaguely talk about how you had come to think this. Who was it that told you that there was this black ops to integrate the tards? This sounds so hilarious to me.
there was this one guy, I don't remember, his name is Daniel. I think he still does, lives in the house that was across from my aunt, really tall, intimidating Dutch guy.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's screaming the other communications booth. Doesn't matter. We get visitors sometimes. He told me there's like, oh yeah, he called some kid like a sped over Xbox Live. And I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, oh, special ed. It's like we say that sometimes here in the school system. It's like, oh, okay. And he told me about the Black Ops integration of retards into normal classrooms. So I thought because of that and because of your unorthodox behavior that took me by surprise in a normal way that you were retarded.
Okay, yeah, and I didn't remember what adjective I'd used at first, but now
Big Ben, as
yeah,
in the
Big Ben.
clock tower.
Yes, good sir.
I
As in the
will.
clock tower. Why, it's quite wonderful, let me tell you. Quite impressive to see in person. Actually, might I say, I have never been outside of this country a day in my life, except for one. When I was just a boy, just born, my parents took a trip to London, and they took a picture of me in front of Big Ben. And it is an astounding photo. However, unfortunately, due to coronavirus, I shall never see it ever again in my life, which is very unfortunate. But do continue, good sir.
10 out of 10 voice. Would listen to it again as I think you're a retard. I still feel bad about that, like, introduction. Then I don't know what I did. I don't know if I like avoided you or just kind of like kept my eye on you because there was a that was later. But basically, I was like, okay, warning symbols out for that guy. That guy is a retard. Stay away from him because he's gonna be retarded. Because the people are awful and don't want to be near people that are just unfortunate in life. But whatever.
Mhm.
Then somehow we're doing like another exercise. This is how the friendship somehow I think you like in an offhanded way referenced the TF2 short Meet the Medic, and immediately I was like, oh, that's Meet the Medic from Team Fortress 2 promotional material. And I like
Mhm.
quoted it back and you were like, oh, and there was like
Yo!
that was when I realized, yes, Ben was retarded, but so am I. This was this was a meeting of the addled minds when we both realized that we have this feverish love for Team Fortress.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, we hung out afterwards, and then throughout the rest of the class, we were just best of buds.
Pretty much, yeah. And then the rest is history. And then, yeah, I also found out that you like rode the bus because
Yeah.
we live like right next to each other, within spitting distance of our houses.
Mm.
Well,
Which was
did
just
since we're in jail now.
yeah, unfortunately, but it was insane luck. I half of my brain is like that has to be God coming down from the heavens and saying, "Here's your best friend for the rest of your life."
God, with his all fathering give, is saying, "This is your bud. Go hang out and play video games."
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got to say, I have a shit memory. Like, I have the memory of a goldfish. I can only remember things that have happened maybe within the span of the year. So I need people to remember critical life events for me. So
I can.
I don't even remember how exactly I met you. I just remember that I did in that class and that it was pretty badass. I don't even
It was indeed.
I don't even remember like how I met most people on my friends list on Steam. I don't remember how I met most people in general. I think it's because since I've lived in the same place for like ever, you really kind of just everything melds together. And so,
It's a case
yeah.
of letting the days go by, huh?
Yeah. I've played video games for too long in my life where it's all I remember. Oh
I
fuck.
can't remember like things that happened recently, but if it's like, oh, this is a friend or this is a video game, I'm instantly like,
Yeah, I
everything
care.
clicks. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
I
Yeah,
remember who this person is. I care.
of course I remember this person. This is Ben. I thought he was a retard at first. Now we're best buds, and
I
I still feel bad to this day, and I will probably never not feel bad.
don't worry about it. I was
No,
well, here's the thing. I was always under the cuz I can't really read people that well. But I was always under the impression that people hated me a little bit in high school. But I didn't really care that much either because I
that's
knew
kind of sad, man.
well, no, because here's the thing. I had a very small, dedicated friend group that I actually cared about, of you and a few other people. And those are the people that I actually liked. Because here's the thing. And I tried to explain this in the pilot with the whole furry rant, but this is what me
Yeah,
trying
the
to
furry.
say it again, is I don't necessarily trust people who have huge, and I'm not talking like, oh, I try to say things to navigate a conversation to sound better. I'm talking your deep underlying personality of who you really are. You just hide all that shit and you don't let anyone know about who you really are ever. And that because you're scared that they'll know who you really are and they'll leave you. I'm like, I don't trust you because that kind of person, if they're willing to lie about the things that they're excited about, they're probably willing to lie about the things that they're not too excited about. And the other thing is,
Hmm.
I want people who I actually enjoy the company of, you know?
Oh,
Um,
for
I
sure.
want someone who is my friend, for example, yourself, who will tell me, yeah, when I met you, I thought you were retarded.
uh,
It's all cool because I need that. I need people who are saying this is what I actually think. And most of the people who wouldn't admit that to me, I am 100% sure were just lying to my face. Um, and most of the people that I met are like two-timing SOBs who think
Doesn't Todd Diamond doesn't backstabbing scumbags like
like
yourself.
you. No offense. Um, but yeah, no, exactly like that. Exactly like that speech from Meet the Spy is,
Hmm.
you know, they'll hold an opinion, especially politically or philosophically, not because they actually believe it, but because it's what they think everyone else believes. And so when you challenge them on anything, because they have no identity and they don't have a personality, if you challenge them on anything, they're instantly just mad. Not because you've said something that's important. No, it's because you've said something that makes their entire identity disappear. And that's why I hate those people. That's why I hate normies. Normies have no personality and it pisses me off.
I'm angry, and I'm gonna go to 4chan, and I'm gonna yell at you on the internet.
So I do remember. Well, speaking of me being retarded, I do remember something. We did do a production of Arsenic and Old Lace, and I knew the set like the back of my hand. And I remember
Is
during.
this the one where you drank like flower water on stage?
No, this was another one. That one was You Can't Take It With You.
Uh,
Arsenic and Old Lace, I got to play Teddy Roosevelt, or a guy who thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt, which was the best shit ever. But I,
that definitely part made for you.
yeah, it was. Teddy Roosevelt is a badass, but I can talk about that later. I remember as part of the set, they have a chest that you can open up, and there's a trap door in there. And I remember we were doing something where we were in the theater as a theater arts class, and I snuck away from the rest of the group because it was dark in the auditorium, but the stage was lit, and I snuck into the chest and I waited until someone asked, "Hey, where's Ben?" And I opened it up. I said, "Hey guys!"
Hello again.
They were very surprised. I thought it would have been pretty funny, but I don't know if anyone either remembered it or cared. So, oh, yeah, no.
I don't know how to feel about that because I was really afraid that no one was gonna like notice you were gone. I was gonna like cry because that's like I don't know. But you are right though. But also yes, but actually no.
Was it funny?
Dude, if you were to like just disappear, I'd be like, where did Ben go? And you were to just pop out of some like random chest, I'd probably piss myself with laughter, and then I'd have to go home and change my pants because I pissed myself. 10 out of 10. Good meme.
Thank
Good
you.
meme.
Um,
But on a completely different
Completely
side
different
note, now
side
for
note.
something completely different.
An apple
I
is
feel
meant to
like
be
the people
considered.
you've described, the only real similarity I have with them is just like when talking to new people, I kind of go on the defensive with talking, specifically with just I'm going to calculate what I say when you talk to me instead of me talking to
Yeah.
you.
Oh, of course. Well, that's just being a little bit of common sense, and that's fine. What I have a problem with is when I'm talking to someone and they're and when I know someone and they're not willing to put who they are out there. You've put yourself out there for me, and I respect that, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you. But when it comes to a bunch of other people, they kind of cower a little bit, and it's like me. I don't like it. I don't like it. Be honest with me. Tell me who you are, because trust
Don't
me,
lie to me.
don't lie to me. I'm not judging you. I don't want to judge you unless you're a pedo. But that's
Yeah, then the judging
unlikely.
happens.
Then the judging happens. The heresy has started, and I'm slowly putting on my power armor. You have 10 seconds to run.
Lethal force has been engaged. You better run.
Pedophile detected on American soil.
American
Lethal
soil.
force
Lethal
engaged.
force engaged.
I love jingoistic characters like that.
Oh my god, I do too. I feel like I've become a jingoistic character myself purely out of like absorbing these sort of characters into my mind, and I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
Well, see, because it's like for me, while I don't always agree, if I were actually thinking, I wouldn't agree in the slightest. But once the jingoism starts, it's like, oh yeah, exterminate the Xenos.
Yeah! Exterminate those Xeno scum in the name of the Emperor.
In the I scream in the name of the emperor. I don't believe in the emperor, but god dang, is that they have so much passion. Those space marines have so much passion. I'm like, no, I'm with it. I'm here. I'm
I,
with you guys. Give me some power
normal
armor.
religion. Oh my god, you bring up such a great point. I bring up almost on a daily. It's like, oh hey, you're religious. Talk to me about like, or I don't know. You're a religious person. Do this. I'm like, I'm not that much of a religious person. But then it's like, you put me in the like space marine armor, or even like
A
basically give me
guardsman.
guardsman stuff and a laser rifle. Go throw yourself at a bunch of aliens and like basically commit a kamikaze attack, ending in your death. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm ready to do this.
For the emperor, bitches. Exactly. Exactly. There's something about just a guttural phrase like that. For the emperor! Ah! That just makes you want to murder somebody.
It's
Or
it
alternatively,
truly is a great phrase.
alternatively, if you're playing a clone trooper in Battlefront, screaming "For the Republic," something about that is
Same
like
energy.
same energy. I feel like the U.S. Army needs a phrase like that. I've been always thinking something like some way to incorporate "e pluribus unum," because "e pluribus unum" means of many one. Um, but it's so wordy you can't really use it as a battle cry. You can use it to
In my
punctuate the end of a
mind,
speech, but in your mind,
basically, oh, oopsie. My thinking is, if you are going into the situation against a much larger force in probably one of the coolest ways imaginable, my thinking is, oh, it's something personal. Like I have some degree of Viking blood within me, and if I'm going into battle to something that will most definitely like result into my death, I'm going to scream something about Valhalla, run forward, and then to my inevitable death, knowing that there is probably no afterlife with beer, friends, and Viking gods. But it's an interesting like thing to scream before
hmm.
your inevitable demise.
Well, so here's an interesting thing about the afterlife. I had my uncle's a priest, and I
Mm-hmm.
actually had this question for him, because the way that afterlife is described by at least from like the pop culture understanding of heaven and hell is you did good things, God lets you into heaven. You did bad things, he literally just picks you up and yeets you downstairs. And I was always like, God, geez, God, for being the guy who's talking about peace and love and acceptance, you really, really behind yeeting people into hell. Like
I
really
mean, hey,
yeeting
once you
them.
have the power, it's pretty good to like do stuff with that power, man. You
But
feel me?
then I talked to my uncle Paul, who is a priest, an ordained priest, and he had some explanations for that. And this is why Catholic doctrine FTW for the win. It's more like God is an ethereal force of love, if that makes any sense, of love and justice, right? And
Yeah.
going to
Mm-hmm.
heaven isn't really going to a place. Heaven is just sort of the irradiance of God, right? So really the amount of heaven you want is directly proportional to how much you have turned yourself towards God. And hell isn't
Ooh.
where you go to be punished for not doing what Sky Daddy told you to. It's more like the absence of God. So people who have directly said, I am not doing God's will, I utterly refuse. Like, what that guy wants, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to mass murder people. I'm going to go commit the Holocaust. Screw you, guy. And then, well, that's where they go because they knew what God wanted. They said, hey, here's peace, love, and acceptance that I could do and make the world a better place. Screw that shit. And then they exist in hell not as punishment per se. It's more like this is the way you lived in life, and this is an ethereal reflection of where you are. Now, supposedly in this afterlife, and this is what purgatory is like you kind of just didn't look either way. You kind of were just there, you know? And then
Yeah.
and everyone, if going to heaven, like directly straight upstairs, is your goal, then working in purgatory, you can get there eventually. And so that was the explanation that my uncle, who knows the theology, explained to me, and I was like, "Yeah, that makes way more sense." Because I was always, I think that's a thing of not to offend your particular persuasions of faith, but
Dog, I'm not very religious. Don't worry about it.
well, where the Protestants kind of screwed themselves because the Catholic Church has always kept a sort of a balance of, except when they were with Galileo, but we'll leave that out for now.
Catholic Church has done some oopsies.
They've done a
here
few
and there.
oopsies. I'm not
All
gonna lie.
religions have.
We've done a few oopsies. NGL. However, the things that we have done, we have generally been about science along with religion, because God made the universe and it was good. Well, if you learn more about the universe, it can only be good. Am I right or am I right, guys? And so we do science. We've kind of stopped doing that as much nowadays, but whatever. It's been a little bit cringe lately, if I may say, especially with this current pope. The current pope is a
Current
beta
Pope
man.
kind of cringe.
He kind of cringe, not gonna lie.
Words I didn't think we would say on this show. The current Pope is kind of cringe.
The current pope is not based in the slightest, and it kind of pisses me off because you're the leader of the Catholic Church. Like, you gotta be a little bit based. You gotta be a little bit.
You're the leader of this like wacky religious pseudo mafia. You gotta be based.
You gotta be based a little bit. You gotta be like, yo, you see that Islamic world over there? Fuck them.
Jesus forever.
Jesus forever. No offense to anyone in our audience who is Islamic. Praise be to Allah. But no, for real, like, you can't just be I'm assuming if there is a leader of the Islamic faith, I don't know who he is, but whoever he is, he'd be at least a little bit like, well, they are like that now anyway. Are like, yeah, those Christians over there, I'm not sure I like them very much.
They don't do very much to get into heaven. They just gotta love God, love people, and then they get into heaven. That's kind of cringe.
I had to murder someone to get into heaven. I had to shank a bitch to get into heaven. And then
if
get my 72 virgins.
Question mark. What if they don't believe in that part of the Quran? They believe in the wacky good parts. They're like, hey, do be good to your buds.
I haven't done a lot of research. This is just like secondhand comments from people who have told me about the faith. Apparently, a lot of the teachings of what you're supposed to do come not from the Quran, but from the Hadith. And the Hadith is like Muhammad's biography. Now, there's some kind of, when they were canonizing the Islamic faith after, the Prophet Muhammad died, they were like, okay, so how will we determine which of Muhammad's teachings were right and which were wrong? Because the message Muhammad started with was not the message he ended with, as you have alluded to.
Yeah.
He started life being almost Jesus-esque and ended life as a conqueror. So then it's like, how do you rectify that message? And then it's like, well, the way that they have canonized it is you take whatever the last chronological thing the Prophet Muhammad said is the interpretation you should take as a fundamentalist Muslim. Now, you don't have to take the fundamentalist view, but you can. Um, so, but that doesn't change the fact from the fundamental ideology from like the start. It's like, okay, yeah, kill all the non-believers, and you must go through a jihad to get into heaven. And a jihad is some kind of struggle, and that struggle can in theory be a holy war of some kind. So, uh, I gotta ask though, where are they getting these virgins from in heaven?
I don't know. It's like I'm guessing it's sort of a thing where if in your big hypothetical Catholic gangster's paradise, I do all the good stuff. I go and I preach about the Lord, and I get into this Catholic heaven theory. Will I have a funny anime wife if I'm not married in the real world? Question mark.
See, that's the thing. I don't know what it will be. So, or what it could be, because, to be fair to the atheists in our audience, I don't know. No. I'm taking this part. This part is on faith alone, which I feel like you have to have a little bit of that in your life, you know?
Oh, for sure, man.
Because it seems to be a weird, sort of paradox of human existence. I think it's the fact that we're conscious. We are meat that has figured out that it's alive, and that's scary. And so
That is very scary when you say it like that.
yeah, and so when you are meat that has figured out that it's alive, you kind of have to wonder, like, there has to be something metaphysical here. There has to be something more. And every society, and I mean every society, has had a religion. And the ones that have actively tried to get away from it have just turned around and worshipped something else. I'm thinking, I just watched or just listened to a lecture on, and it's a PCP lecture, so it's actually way more based. Um, it was on the French Revolution, essentially like the dumbed down meme version of the French Revolution. And they said, fuck you to the church. They pretty much said, yeah, if you were in the clergy, guillotine, you dead. And they worshipped the what was it? The Church of Reason. They were all like, yo, so we're gonna
More like the Church of Treason.
yeah, exactly.
Ew.
And they were all like, yeah, we're all atheists and no more God. Our God is wisdom and logic and reason and virtue. But
That sounds hokey.
yeah, well, and from what I gleaned from the lecture, the main guy Robespierre, who deigned himself the priest of reason, or the leader of this, he would constantly go on about virtue. But since there's no more religion, well, wait, then what's virtue? And he's like, guillotine. You get the guillotine for asking me that question, because he was the guy who was in charge of the organization that did the guillotining. And he was like, you asked me that question? Guillotine! And so no one could ever...
homeboy.
Everyone was always asking him, what's virtue mean? And he'd just do the medieval equivalent of blocking them on Reddit.
He's quite literally, it's like, who's Joe? And he's Joe Mama.
Joe Mama!
And then their head is gone.
And then you have, let's see, the Nazis in Germany. They said no to religion, but then Hitler started experimenting with this pseudo-Roman faith, and then of course,
scary.
If you're in the SS, you worship the state as a fascist. The Italians did that to a lesser extent. I don't think they killed the church because of course, the Vatican still exists. But I get the impression that if they'd had enough time, and Hitler
my sister has burst into my cell and is frightening me by standing over me.
Whoa, what? Yo,
I don't
Emma,
know how she got into the prison.
Emma,
I might need to alert security.
Emma, can you get us out?
Emma, can you get us out?
The prison?
Yeah, prison.
Yeah.
She says yes, probably.
Do you need me to bake you a cake with violin, or are we gonna go we going hard?
I'm thinking like
Like create
gun
a drive
gun
through in the
and
prison.
cake.
'Cause
Gun
I
and
can
cake.
get a really big.
Gun
Just get
cake?
like an
bus and
industrial
just
cake
drive
with
it.
gun in it. What do you
Okay.
think, Ben? Gun cake?
Yes. Gun cake.
Ben
Can you
agrees to gun
can you
cake.
Okay.
put an AR in it as well? Or no. Put my Walther in it. Put my Walther in it. I love Walther, by the way, guys.
She's gone now.
Oh. I have a Walther.
We're gonna get the golden gun. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I don't even.
Is it gonna be a golden? Is it a deagle or is it like
No, it's the golden gun
from like
from
James
James
Bond?
Bond,
And we're
the
just,
video game.
they cannot stop
GoldenEye.
us.
No, they can't stop us.
Well,
The
no, not
one-shot
that
machine.
Walther. I'm talking like I have. It's a Walther PPQ. I think it's like a 9mm.
Ben has Nazi gun. That means he is bad.
Well, no, it's not the Nazi gun. Walther is.
I know this is a variant.
Oh. Oh, hold on. Are you putting it in the Discord?
No, I'm finding a weird one.
Hold on. Let me find the Walther PPQ. PPQ. Let me pull it up. That's what they look like.
It's the Walther. It's pretty poggers.
Hold on.
It fires a funny bullet though, and I think that's silly.
Hold on. Shoot.
Don't hurt yourself.
Hold on, I'm figuring it out. And then
Yo, how long has this been going for?
I'm not sure, but let me put this in. We can jerk off about guns for a little while longer.
You could do that in the next episode too.
Oh.
It's up to you. I just want to know how long we've been going for.
Shit, I can't get it out of the files.
You don't know how long we've been going in the podcast.
No, I can check, but I have to find this first.
The PPQ?
Yeah. I
can find it for you.
No, I've almost got it. I
Don't hurt
have
yourself.
it downloaded. It's just I need to get it into the Discord.
Why don't you just copy and paste? Sure, it's a
Hold on.
PPQ because the PPQ looks drastically different than the original PPK.
Duh. Hold on, maybe you're right. Oh, hold on.
I think you just have some sort of variant of the PPK, just modernized. It's a darn cool looking gun, that's for sure, but it uses funny bullets that are weird in German. Here you go. This is the PPK people at home. Because I'm a cool internet Chad who knows how to go do cool internet Chad stuff. If it'll process.
Okay.
Doghead. There you go. Oh no, it is a PPQ. Never mind. I was wrong.
No, that's the like old Walther, and this is the one I have.
You keep it gloopy with the James Bond gun.
Nah, I got the one at the bottom. This isn't.
That's like the new James Bond one.
Oh, he's got a new one, and it's also a Walther.
Yeah, they keep it like classy, I guess.
Oh, well, no, that's got. To my knowledge, it's got one of the best triggers ever. Thank you, Steven Crowder, for recommending my first gun.
Thank you, Mr. Crowder, for recommending me the funny gun and telling me the village is real. Mm-hmm. Everyone have a good night.
Another.
Oh, that wait. Wasn't like it. That wasn't like a goodbye statement. That was just like a me being retarded thing.
We've been going for 44 minutes.
All right.
We can keep going.
I'd say we cut it at the hour mark, but continue.
Okay, another question about something else, because this is pretty much a dossier on everything other people who know you have told me about you. Tracer.
What about
her? Would you like to expound on some things that you
You
think about
have been
her.
talking to Gavin, haven't you?
I have.
God, how
Do you
much
have
have you talked to this guy?
a little bit?
He's
I
filled your head with poisons and lies. What do you want
because
to know?
I'm under the impression. Do you have a body pillow?
No, this is a meme that he told that was started back in like sophomore year, I think. Yeah, this was sophomore year. Basically, what had happened was I got bored during a match of Rainbow Six Siege, and what I did was like, I'll look up some Overwatch fan fiction, which was a mistake.
Why were you in
I
that
found
mood?
what?
Why were you in that mood to just look up Overwatch fan fiction?
Because I was bored, man. The
Why is that your first reaction? That's the thing.
Because I don't know what else to do, my man.
Oh, by the way, if people are looking at this tab up here, I just forgot I didn't close out of the full body fursuit article.
Do you have a fursuit, van? Because you're looking at
no,
it.
so Mike.
Really are?
So no. Here's the thing. I think this was from last stream. I might have. I forget if I actually talked about it or not. But I was curious. Like people keep saying that you can make a lot of money off of being like a fursuit maker, and I was like, how much do they make? Like, how much do they really make? Someone said like $3,000, upwards of $3,000 per suit, and I was like, yo, that is bank.
Do
Like,
not like.
okay, it is a little cringe. Let me tell you, and not just a little cringe. I look at those conventions, and I see some people like on YouTube who are like, "Oh, hey, look, I went to a furry convention." And I'm like, people talk about these. Let me actually watch a video, see what it's about. I get like 10 seconds in, and I cannot. I physically cannot. I have to stop because I'm like, ah, and I just cease. And so I could
The
never
eyes
make
are
it for
bleeding.
myself, except. I did mention this a few streams ago. There is someone who made like a protogen one that was really cool because like they got like the pixelated face move. That was really cool. Whoever that is some kind of technology nerd that I am like, okay, weird but cool, but really cool. But then I'm like, for this, I could never wear it. I would never. You would never catch me dead wearing it. However, as a means of profit, hey, capitalism's capitalism, baby. But yeah, so didn't want to start talking about your Tracer body pillows and then ignore the elephant in the room that people can clearly see. So
Fair enough.
I want you people to
But
know.
yes,
this is pure research. This is research. I just
okay.
realized how
So
that sounded.
basically,
Okay, so no, you were looking for Tracer fanfic for some
I
reason.
found it. It was pretty good. I
It was
enjoyed
pretty
it a
good,
lot,
you
and I read
said.
it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. As much
You
as you
enjoyed
can
it.
enjoy it.
Oh, what
Yeah.
was entailed? This is some
Uh,
knowing Tracer is gay. Or is this before she came out?
this is in the beautiful before times when Overwatch was still good.
Oh, right.
It did become bad when they're like, oh yeah, Tracer's gay. They just changed the meta, and then, so they also revealed that all their characters like are like gay, and so that's yeah.
Yeah.
Soldier 76 can't shoot straight. Apparently.
Oh God.
But
we can
yeah,
let's talk
so
about Overwatch after we're done with this tangent. But let's continue.
all right. So basically, what happens is this thing spirals into a big meme. Gavin finds out. He's like, "Oh, you were reading Overwatch, man?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was bored." And then this devolves over time into this whole big like, "Oh yeah, Aiden wants to trace your body pillow." And then one of my friends made like a fan fiction involving me that was like one big meme and it was awful.
What was the fan fiction? Hold on, now I'm really curious. Can I get a hold of this fanfic?
It's nothing special, but probably
Does it
sure,
just say,
maybe.
oh yeah, Aiden Bones Tracer?
No, it's more like this was like a crack dream my friend came up with. Where it's like, oh yeah, Aiden's in Italy. He's an Italian boy. His name is like uh, Monte Carlo or something Italian. I don't remember. And somehow he and the British girl meet, but they can't speak English to each other. Oopsie! I just knocked over my stuff on my desk. and that just kind of spiraled in further and further and further and
And
further
then
down.
you banged.
No,
Aw.
it
Were you
doesn't happen.
depressed that he didn't add that in?
No, I was actually glad that he didn't.
Oh, okay. So, what is it about Tracer? Is it an actual thing that you're into, Tracer, or is it just as your waifu beyond what's her name,
No,
Ryu? Ray? Who?
no, Ryu's from Street Fighter.
Not
It's
Ryu,
Ray.
Ray. Excuse me.
Yes, you better get it right, or I'm gonna get angry. Urgh.
So is this a meme? Is it a meme
That was
that you
that
think?
was a meme back then.
And it's not actually true that you think Tracer is like you would totally
No,
go out with her.
I mean,
Aww.
presented the opportunity. I mean, maybe, possibly, maybe. I guess
I
maybe.
mean, she seems like an interesting person.
Yes.
Of course, it probably wouldn't be good if, she time traveled while you're doing the do. But,
I don't know about that. That sounds interesting.
well, yeah, I mean, suppose.
We're gonna stop and turn around and go the other road
Okay.
because nothing doesn't matter.
No, say it. Say it. Say it.
I'm just laughing at this whole thing that's going down, happening right now, chuckling at it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, cause you gotta be saying what you're thinking, man.
I don't know because I'm not saying or thinking anything.
Okay. I will say on Overwatch, I've not played it, but over time, I have watched people play it because I don't think I would ever buy it now. Like back in the day, before I had the ability to buy things on the internet, I was iffy about it. I was like, would I buy it? Maybe. But it is $60, but maybe. But then as time has gone on and I've watched it more and more, I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely. That is a big no-no. Never going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it started... Did you hear about ages ago? It was ages ago, so this is going to be old news to anybody. But they banned... I think it was like a Grandmaster Torbjorn player.
Yeah, just because you like playing Torbjorn. That hit me hard because I was a Torb main back before they reworked him.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him because he was a funny build character, and I just would sit back on the defense point with me turret and me armor, just throwing it down like a shot. And people would go by, pick it up, get into the point, come back, get more armor, and the cycle would repeat. Life was good.
Mm-hmm. And it was things like that, where Team Fortress 2, where it's like, oh, you played 10 spies and 2 snipers?
How about 2 more spies?
You guys.
Sniper,
too many snipers, guys. We need more spies. And it would be like, people would think that was really fun and be like, yo, this is so funny. This is just the French Revolution. We're having a great time.
There was a point like that in Overwatch where it was a lot of fun to play, and then there was just a time where it's like, oh yeah, serious time is now. No more duplicate heroes.
I think that's when it stopped being fun.
After that is when it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of lame now. I don't remember when it was, but then it's like, then the meta started changing.
Oh yeah,
they added a ton of new heroes that are weird, and that changed the
It's the fact that every time I'm listening to people talk about the game, it's never about how much fun it is or how cool it is or how awesome this character is. It's always meta slave. Meta slave. If you do not play the meta the correct way, you are throwing. You are doing the bad. This is not how you play the game. You have to play this character. There are no other characters you can play. Like, I personally thought Bastion was really cool. Because it's like, he turns into a turret. It's so cool.
He's a robot. It is pretty cool.
He's a beat boop robot. I sometimes do, like, the Bastion wave to people. Just because it's like, I thought he was such a cool character. But everyone hates Bastion. Why? Because he's not the correct character. Is he a bad character? No.
Also, people got angry at him because he would just sit there and then walk in front of him and mow him down with his machine gun.
And it's like, yeah, you're angry because you have a character that counters what you're doing. Now, the solution in Team Fortress 2 is, just pull out the direct hit and fuck them up. The solution in Overwatch is, you're banned. because you didn't
The
play the
hammer
right
comes
character
out
that
and we're
made
gonna
this fun.
smash your nuts.
Mm-hmm. Bailiff, slap his nuts.
Bailiff and his life.
And so that's the thing that kind of made me think, oh God, that's so terrible. Like, imagine I like a character, I fall in love with the way that this character works, and it's, oh, I can't play it because no one is allowing me to do that. That's why I think like the core design of Overwatch is kind of broke. Cause
I just don't like it because it doesn't capture the utter and complete just chaos of Team Fortress. Like,
there's something
walking
about
in at
that,
the
yeah.
very first time, yeah, it's indescribable. First match, I played heavy because gun, and it's pretty simple. It was like the snowy map with the ruined cabin in the middle. I walk out, I hear the
Cold
distant
front.
screams and explosions. I'm like, did I walk into Stalingrad? What is this? It was terrifying, but like the prospect of like fighting and dying side by side with these people of varying skill levels was just fascinating. I wanted to do it. I wanted to fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I can whip out my shovel as soldier and run to the front lines and hack and slash through people just to get shot down.
Exactly, man. It's like every ounce of it is just dipshit energy of
Utter
epic
complete
proportions.
war.
Exactly. And it's just, oh, wow, this is insane. This guy just ran up to me with a bottle. And here I am with heavy duty military equipment, and this dude just ran up to me with a bottle, smacked me upside the head, and I am done. There's nothing else I can do. And it's just the. Like, yesterday, I was, like, shaking off some rust in TF2 just because I was like, I haven't played it in a while. Let's try it. I sucked ass, but it was still some of the best fun ever because it was like, bro, this dude just walked up to me with a bottle and killed me. It was hilarious. And it's like, you can have little, even while you're trying to win the game, you can have those little moments where you're just enjoying yourself. In Overwatch, it's just, I can
It's
understand where it's
all
cool.
game all the time.
Yeah, it's all game all the time. Now, when you're in the mood for all game all the time, it's the best shit on planet Earth. Someone described to me when everyone works together and pulls it off, it's the best feeling ever. And I can get that.
Utter war comes together I know exactly what you're talking about, and I will try. I can't words just because of how awesome.
Yeah, but then the problem is you get one person who either doesn't want to play the class that's in the meta right now, or you have someone who is garbage at the meta hero that you're playing, right? Then it's like, oh, well, now we're screwed. And
We cannot do it.
And there's no room for fun at that point because none of the heroes you're playing you even like. You're just doing it to win, and oh well, now we're all not having fun, and the other team is just screwing us over.
Yeah.
And the thing about this is the other thing that I don't quite like about Overwatch is they just make all of their characters disposable. That's what I think was like weird about, and I think that was indicative of them, for example, making Tracer gay, and then Soldier is gay. And
they're not even like.
And Winston
the
might be gay.
characters are dime. Yeah. The characters are
God.
dime a dozen in Overwatch, while there's
Hold
only
on.
9 Well, folks, the prison guards have taken Ben away, which is no bueno, so I guess it's a journey between you and me. What, if the prison guards said something?
Jeff Kaplan. Holy shit,
What?
my nose started bleeding the moment you started talking about how this was, like, really weird that all these characters are gay, and my nose just started bleeding. I think you might have just summoned Jeff Kaplan, and he, like, extra-dimensionally socked me in the nose.
That's good word. Have we... Uh-oh. Angry Jeff Kaplan.
Okay. Rewind that a little bit so that I can hear your point.
Basically, there's only 9 heroes in not heroes, characters.
Yeah,
9 classes in TF2.
Uh-huh.
And each one of them Each one of them is instantly recognizable.
Now, I will say a lot of the heroes in Overwatch are instantly recognizable as well, because they are very unique characters. But they
Maybe,
haven't.
but not
As a
when you haven't
personality,
been playing the game for a while.
yeah.
Sorry, when you haven't been playing the game for a while and you get back into all these random people, but like if you start playing TF2 and you barely know the people, you come back, everyone is exactly the same and it's all instantly recognizable. It's like, oh, there's no new characters, there's no new stuff I need to learn.
Hmm. Yeah, especially now that they don't add any weapons anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
unfortunately.
but here's the thing about like all of these other characters in Overwatch, at least in my opinion, it's like all all of the characters are really cool design wise, but their personalities are all like 2 inches deep. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, they have a little bit of lore behind them, but it's
There
not
is
much.
not enough lore compared to the like world crafted by Team Fortress.
Yeah. Like they have the soldier who he is like the second most vague character in the entire team, and yet he has way more character than half the roster in Overwatch.
Oh, for sure. Like, not to mention like the whole community surrounding Watch versus Team Fortress is just like night and day, so much better. Because if you so much as like say, oh hey, uh, well, you can get banned for just being like, oh hey, I don't like you that much because you don't play the game real good and you're hindering my fun. It's like you get banned because you said you don't like this person. If you spammed an emote after killing people, which is a part of the game, you'll get banned.
Oh
If you
yeah.
use a voice line too much, banned.
Oh no. I remember it. It wasn't that someone was spamming a voice line. It was more like, "Oh, you used a vaguely insulting voice line from a character too much. You are banned." Meanwhile, in Team Fortress 2, there is literally an achievement for making people quit from like dominating them as pyro too much. It's like you bullied someone off of the internet. Here's an achievement.
Here's your Reddit gold, sir.
And it's like night and day. TF2 is based. Overwatch is cocked. And it's like
Yeah.
Well yeah, but like the point I was making about like how Soldier 76 all of a sudden is gay. You know, half these characters are instantly either a minority race or a minority ethnicity or minority sexuality, and it's like you're not, and it's just like adding it in after the fact, J.K. Rowling style, and it's like the reason they're doing that isn't because our character has a deep reason to be gay or anything like that. It's like it's more like we don't have anything else interesting. We can't make this character interesting in the slightest. Let's just make him gay to get people interested in them.
Which I don't understand with like the community behind the gays. It's like
why do you
normally
like?
they're like,
Why do you
I don't
like someone who's just
understand.
gay? It's
They'll
like,
yell at someone that's like, I don't understand. It's
well,
like, oh hey, you say that this character's gay after the fact. You're saying it like it's a throwaway thing, but then it's like, oh, Overwatch doesn't. It's like, oh wow, this is so progressive. Wow, this is really neat. It's like it doesn't make any sense. They're taking advantage of you in the way that you think to get clicks on their game. You're being duped and bamboozled, people.
well, I mean, you don't see people identifying with a character just because they're white. Like, that'd be the thing for me. Like, oh, I love this character because they're gay and I'm gay. In this hypothetical example for this person, not me.
I'm not gay,
Or
bro. Please.
oh, no homo, please. It'd be
Oh,
the
Roy,
same thing if I were to say, yes, this character. The who's someone I can think of? Fuck. Give me a character. Give me a character.
The postal dude from Postal 2.
the Postal dude from Postal 2. I really identify with him because he is an exemplar of the white race. Yeah! I
Oh,
like
boy.
that guy, and he may have committed murder, but God, is he white. Oh boy, I sure do love him. It's like, come on, you'd think I'm some kind of white supremacist, and that I'm.
People would think that you're absolutely
Yeah, I was gonna shoot
just
somebody.
insane.
I was gonna shoot something up, and I was like, yeah, that's weird. But you do it, and oh, that character is gay, or that character is black, and then all of a sudden, that mindset is fine. Ah, well, I really identify with that mass murderer because he's black. Well, but he just did mass murder, dude. Like, bro, that's not
But it's
cool.
fine.
Yeah, but
because
he is an exemplar of my race, bro. What?
Uh-oh.
You changed
Uh-oh.
it.
Ruh-roh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to get like very political here, but it's like, bro, you can't just have a double standard. I feel like I'm the only sane person in the room when I have this conversation. Like, you can't just
Double
change
standards exist a lot in the oh my guy.
that. I'm just like, you can't just say, now if you were white in saying this is bad. But I'm black, so I can do it. Like, no! If I were to reverse the situation, you'd think I was a horrible person, and you'd be right. Now if the stream wasn't gonna get just utterly destroyed, now it will.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah, boss, it's probably fine.
It's probably fine, boss. Please take it from me.
Yeah.
How long have we been doing this for?
How long have we been doing this stream? Let's ask
I don't know.
the question. It is actually just an hour and 6 minutes, but I feel like there's an energy. Hold on, I don't mean to. I don't mean to like hold you back.
Say it.
But
go on ahead.
There is something missing. There's one thing missing. I feel like this has been a very good stream, but there's a piece de résistance. It is very.
What is it?
I don't
What
know,
is it?
but I feel like this is gonna come to us in a few minutes. You know, where we can't just end it quite yet. We could, but there's just something missing. I think I've asked this question on stream before, and I've mentioned it before a few times to you outside of the stream as well. But I'm curious about what's the deal with white supremacists? Like, so I had a friend at work, and let me preface this. I think I've told you before. I had a friend at work who said, if you can't see racism everywhere, there's something wrong with you. And I'm like, and he was talking about the high school that we both, assumably he as well went to, but you and I went to as well. And he said that there was racism everywhere. And I was like, where? Like,
I can't see it either. My sister brought that up today. Gonna break out of character today. I was doing a Bible thing with my aunt, and basically it's like, yeah, the school we go to is completely racist and homophobic. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't see any of this.
Yeah, no,
it's like,
there's literally a Gestapo. I hope I'm gonna make this clear to the people in the audience. So the school I went to has the. Is this gonna out my identity? Maybe.
Probably.
Whatever. Fuck it. It'll make my point. It's a thing called Equal Alliance, where you are. It's some kind of LGBT support group, but what it really amounts to is the Gestapo. Because if you disagree with them on anything, if you say like, "Hey, so are you really gay?" Because I know there's definitely two people in the school who do it, and they probably do, like, they're two girls who hold hands, and I think they do it not because they're actually lesbians, but because they just want to piss people off, and it's like, we're in a really accepting school.
I don't think that's what they're going to go for with that. I think they're actually like straight gay, because I mean, it's a lovely guy, man. Look at the two of them.
I think they're gay, but I think they do it. I remember, like, in my last year of high school, I watched them walk around, and they just were holding hands and they had this huff about them. Like, and it looked almost like contempt in their souls about it. What seemed to me was like they were walking around the school and they were doing it. Maybe they did love each other to some extent, but it was the bigger point that they were trying to make was, yeah, we're gay, and this is a conservative town, and we're going to show you that it's okay to be gay, and it's okay to be lesbian. And it's like, but all of us already agree. Like, Maine Overton window has been shifted to the point where everyone's like, it's fine that you're gay. Just, don't shove it in my face, Like, I think it's a little odd, personally. I understand that people can be gay, but I'm not entirely comfortable when I see two dudes kissing. It feels weird to me. And so
It is weird.
Yeah. And so it's like, I think that's and I'm assuming gay people feel the same thing, and it sucks for them, seeing a guy and a girl kissing. Like, ah! And
I don't know what goes on inside gay people's head because I'm not one of them. Bazinga.
Buzzinga. But for those two, it's like I feel like they're doing it more out of an anger thing. But anyway, to get back,
I just think that's the standard like lesbian plug walk.
Yeah. Oh, it could be. Well, anyway, Equal Alliance. It's more like, screw you if you disagree with us. We will destroy you. I remember one kid who was part of Equal Alliance, not as a gay guy, but as an ally. He was definitely not the type. He was some kind of punk metal rocker, but he was for some reason falling in with this very politically correct crowd. And I tried to ask him, hey, yo, what's the deal with gay club? He's like, don't call it gay club. It's so insulting. But it's gay club. It's literally gay club.
Dog.
They literally have the rainbow flag on their shit. Like, how is that
what
not
else
gay
are you
club?
supposed to call it?
Besides Equal Alliance, what are you supposed to call it? And I'm trying to be jovial with this guy. I'm trying to be like, hey, y'all gay. I'm trying to be, a friendly fellow. But he wasn't into that, so whatever. But yeah, no, it was really, really strange to me. Like, and here's another thing that was really weird to me. There was, Equal Alliance got its own place in the yearbook. Now, it's some sort of, like, activist support group. I mean, they don't say that they're activists, but come on, they're fucking activists. And then, meanwhile, there was a pro-life group that I went to a few times that didn't get a place in the yearbook. Now, you can have whatever opinion you want on abortion. I'm not going to scream at you anymore. I used to when I was younger, but not now. But, why is it fair that the, gay political advocacy group gets a spot in the yearbook, but then the anti-abortion political advocacy group doesn't get a spot in the yearbook?
If you disagree with the Overwatch meta of politics, then you get banned.
Yeah. So you're still in, again, another break from the meta that we're at. You're still in high school, right?
Unfortunately.
So you can ask Emma, like, can you introduce me to these, like, supposed Klansmen? Like, I want to meet these people. Because I want to take, what's his name? It's like Daryl something. He's a black guy who, like, meets Klansmen and, like, makes friends with them and then makes them leave the clan. And I'm like, I wonder what that guy's doing. I know Joe Rogan interviewed him a while ago, and I really liked what he did. His whole shtick is meet people who are deeply racist and say, well, but I'm a person. Come talk to me. And then it's like, then they slowly become friends, and then it's like, oh yeah, being a racist was kind of bad. And then it's like,
it was kind of cringe.
It was kind of cringe being in the clan. Did you know that they have, like, ranks like Grand Wizard?
I know, that, like, that really confuses me.
Oh my god, the ranks in the Ku Klux Klan. I looked this up on Wikipedia one time, and it was just the funniest shit on planet Earth. It's like, What the fuck is this? What kind of what is this rank? What? Why? Why do you?
It
This sounds like sounds like what was cringe for boomers. Like this sounds like what D&D must have been like in 1860.
oh my god!
Oh,
Come on, bro. You got bro. I got a prestige, so I can get Grand Wizard, bro.
I gotta get Grand Wizard in the clan.
Like, I don't know. The KKK is already a weird ass cult, so it makes sense that they have weird ass cult names
Yeah. So,
and
but
ranks.
could you get Emma to talk to some of these people that and I know they probably literally don't exist. That's the kind of the point. It's kind of like a debate tactic. Hey, can I meet these people? And they're like, well, they don't. They're not specific things that people are doing. It's more like the attitude. It's like, well, then where's the racism, bitch? And
Show me the racist so I can unrace them.
They'll say some shit like, oh, but it's a majority white school, so that must mean there's racism. No, it's because our ancestors are Scottish and German, motherfucker. This entire area was settled by Scots and Germans, all right? Yeah, most of the people
And Dutch
that live
people.
here and Dutch people are probably going to be white. It's just a matter of the way things are. I am sorry. Look, if you're so worried about the racial makeup of the school, like, invite a bunch of black dudes to come over. Like, when I was doing army stuff, I met a whole assload of black people, and it's like, they're just people. Believe it or not, racists on both sides of the political aisle. Black people are people, and they can all be different. I knew 2 guys in the same signal school class. One of them was a gangster-ass motherfucker who said, yo, this technology shit is gay. I'm here just so that I can get the benefits and get the money and get out. I'm a gangster at heart. Fuck this army shit. I'm just here.
Wait, what?
And then I met this other guy who was, his name is like, I don't remember his name, and I probably shouldn't say his last name. Well, I remember his
Let's call
last
him Broqueefus.
name. Yeah, well,
Hypothetical Broqueefus.
hypothetical Broqueefus. He had, glasses. He would tell us literally, he had these big old glasses, and he would tell us literally nothing about who he was. All we could figure out from him was that he was from Virginia, and that's all we could ever shake out of him. We tried to be cool to him, but it was just like he was too uptight. And I still kind of feel like, bro, he was really chill. Like, I want to know more about who he is, but he just wouldn't say a fucking word. It was a little weird, but, he was cool. But, see, people who are, also racist on the other side would say, he's acting so white. He's such a coon, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, that's so not cool. Like,
come on, man. I'm a human
just because he's not asking to gang rape bitches doesn't mean he's not black. You can literally see that he is black. Like, just because he's not acting gangster as fuck does not mean he is not black. You can't just say that. It's like literally the most offensive thing fucking ever. And you're all so worried about what's so fucking offensive. What the fuck? And I met a whole bunch of people who were in between, in that class, who were like, this one guy, freaking huge. He's from Haiti, and he was chill, but he would also fuck you up because he's from Haiti, and Haitians don't fuck around.
They don't.
He was also a dad, and he had like 2 kids that he was able to get on post, and he was really chill. But you fuck with him, and he didn't want to be because he thought it was really weird, but he was kind of group dad. A little bit. Just a little bit. He was really chill. I liked him. And it's like, that's... now, we don't have that many people who are black at our school, and I just chalk it up to, it's just not where those people who happen to be black don't want to live. And that's okay. If you don't want to live here,
they live where they want to live.
I live where I want to live, and where that is somewhere in the middle of the fucking country. But I understand that's fucking weird to some people. So it's like, all right.
It is indeed an all right.
Yeah. But I want your opinion on this as well. Have you noticed anything?
Uh, Not really, no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel a little bit weird because
What?
I had this huge tirade that I just went on, and it's like, Aiden, I want your input because I don't want you to feel left out.
Dude, I bet both of us have like talked for like half the episode. Don't worry, we've each had our own notes.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing I've had for a lot of my life is it's like I want people to talk more. That's why I get so talkative. It's like, please say something. Oh God, I don't want to fail.
I mean, it's a podcast. You
Yeah,
speak.
you speak. I guess that's true. But yeah, well, I would like a little bit of your input on that though. Like, what do you think
Um,
about the culture at the school and like what's really going on?
Man, I don't know. I try to avoid people as much as I can. That's because I don't really like people.
You can't see racism if you can't see people.
Exactly.
If I hate everyone, I can't be racist because it's
If I hate
hatred.
everyone equally, I can't be a racist. That's how Dirty Harry did it, and everyone loves him.
Who did?
Dirty Harry.
Oh,
Dirty
Dirty
Harry
Harry,
Callahan.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't he call someone a spick?
He
I do remember
man,
that. Yeah.
Clint Eastwood has played like two characters that are racist to every race, and I can respect that.
Well, who was the other one? Was it the man with the no name?
No, he was the guy in Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo?
Huh?
You know the car, Gran Turismo, whatever.
No, I
Funny
don't.
car movie.
No, I don't.
Basically, he's a Korean vet, and he just doesn't like it.
He doesn't like the
So
Koreans.
he doesn't like Asian people at
Oh.
all, and a bunch of them moved near his house, and so he's like, you stupid gooks moving near my home. And they're like, come on, man, it's not cool. But then over time, he's like, okay, I was wrong. I do this because of a certain reason, and I have trauma in my. And you find out he's not a bad guy, and then he dies so one of the Vietnamese weird kids can, I don't know, live.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
He
in
sacrifices himself so a bunch of Vietnamese criminal guys get persecuted and good things happen. Good movie.
Yeah. Well, see, in both cases, he did the races. I don't mean to say this in a very offensive way.
Gran Torino, that's it.
Yeah, he did racist character in a good way, which was
He
he's racist.
redeemed himself.
He's racist, and he had a reason, but he redeemed himself, and that's the message I think.
He also died at the end, so all the people
episode.
who hate racists are happy.
This is the reason we continued the episode, because I want to have this big message out there. And it's a message that I carry from the furry shit, I carry it from the weeb shit, I carry it everywhere. And this is no exception. If you see someone, for example, who is a racist, right? You don't make that person stop being a racist by just telling them to fuck off, right? Or if you're talking to someone who you think is a degenerate, who is like a furry or something, or a weeb, or something else. If you think that's really strange, I guess. I'm not trying to compare weebs and furries to racism. But I'm just saying, if you meet someone like that, maybe, especially someone who's a racist, maybe you should talk to them about it and see...
Change their views.
Change what
they're human beings, too.
Yeah, they're human beings. Maybe they're racist because, either their parents didn't love them enough when they were kids, and their parents were racist, and so to get their parents to approve of them, they said, "Oh well, I hate races too, guys."
People are flawed.
Yeah, people are flawed.
Man.
Or maybe they were done something wrong by someone. I had this happen to me actually, or not happen to me, but when I talked to some of those same people in my army stuff, they were like, "Oh yeah, y'all white people are a little bit sus." Because, oh, well, why? Well, because I had something that happened to me with this white cop sometime. And I'm like, well, but come on, man. I'm not that guy, I'm not that guy. Everyone's different, And that's how you get people to change. It's not by canceling them on Twitter. It's not by saying I hate you. It's doing what Martin Luther King did and saying I love you guys. I love everybody. I try to love it. I don't do it very well all the time because I can be a little angry sometimes. But you try to love as many people as you can, and hopefully you make them change.
Love people.
Love people. Thank you for
Love
saying
will
that.
change the world,
Exactly.
but not in a weird way.
But not in the gay way. No homo though, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think this is the cherry on top that we needed. A good message for the future. Love people. You know, if you don't understand them, if you think it's like, and like people just say love is like a buzzword, but like actually caring for people that you do not care for at all is like the best way to get to them. Yeah, it's like, hey, you know, I don't hate you, and they'll be so surprised by that because they're like, but I was told that your group or your person was supposed to hate me, and it's like, no, I don't, and that it makes it harder for them to just be angry at you all the time, you know.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you wanted to bring forward before we wrap up, brother?
Uh, don't be horny on Maine.
Oh God! Don't be horny on Maine.
Amen.
Don't buy tracer body pillows on Maine either.
Definitely not.
If
Trade a
I
different account.
can I get you? How would you feel if I got you a tracer body pillow for Christmas?
I'd be disgusted, and I'd probably keep it on my bed at all times.
um, I think British. By the way, can I just say I think British chicks are they're kind of especially if they're like the body type that I like, kind of interesting.
Muscular. Yeah.
Oh,
Or this is just us repeating the Kate Beckinsale thing.
the what?
No, I'll tell you later. Don't worry about it.
All right, we'll save that for another time. I didn't hear that, so I'll pretend this will be what's that thing in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? That's a special tool for later.
This is a secret tool.
We could talk about that sometime too, because Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was something else. All those kids shows were. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this has been Center of the Girth. We talked through some pretty fun shit. We kept the high energy, I think. We talked about some serious topics towards the end, but things that in this time of division and anger, I think we need a message of just love each other, man. Like love each other,
Yeah.
you know. And I think that's very critical for people nowadays. So me and Aiden both, I want to say to everyone watching, you have a good night. All right,
Yeah.
Aiden.
Yeah.
Say a goodbye. Say a goodbye beyond just yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, goddamn! I'm ending the stream now.
Okay.
All right.